Okay, good evening. Actually, this is the first time I'll be, should I say, anchoring a meeting on Zoom. So I think I'll have a little technological lapses. I should because I know that too familiar with Zoom. I don't know if you can hear me because it's raining in Tukozala, UNTH. The rain voices there. I don't know whether they interrupt waiting at the talk. So can you hear me? Raise hands. Come, you just come. I'm in a meeting. You just come here shopping. Sorry, I'm still in the hostel. Let me close my door. So many people are interrupting. Can you hear me? Nobody's saying anything.
Nelson, we can hear you.
Yes,
Check the chat box. We can hear you.
okay. Oh, I know Sabi use this guy. Okay. Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay. Let me now. Good evening. Welcome to our first virtual meeting. So today we'll be discussing more on niching. So people make money online. I do. So many other people do. Like in my class, there are some people that make money online. Obasi Chinedu, some of you might know him. Okay, yeah, many people here know Obasi Chinedu. Because most of us are unique, either unique students or unique alumni. So in my class, Obasi Chinedu, in 021, we have like 4 other people, like many people make money online. Though I'm not really into the business of blogging, because blogging is a long-time project. It's not something that you make money like you do today and you make money immediately. It takes time. It takes like 6 months for you to start seeing substantial ranking. Then 1 year. Then after 1 year, you should start making money. So me, I did into the fast way. The fast way now, okay, I help you create a blog and I help you optimize your SEO. So you start ranking on time. And as I'm doing it, you are paying me. That's the part I put my time into. Instead of creating a blog and waiting for like 1 year before I start earning. So actually, I started blogging to start earning myself this year. Normally, I help people earn. So this year, I said, okay, I'm actually finishing school. So this medical school stuff this medical school not having time will not really affect me again. So niching is, many people will say, okay, I want to blog, and they will end up, okay, I want to blog about health, I want to blog about finance, managing money. But blogging is not, you don't just conclude in your mind what you want to blog about. You have to make sure people are searching about it and people are interested in what you want to blog. Because you're not blogging for yourself, you're blogging for people so that they come to your blog and you make money. So that's just about niching. So niching is, there are so many niches. We have relationship, we have health, we have making money online, we have blogging, we have so many niches. But the problem is we have education. The problem about niching is you don't just jump into and say, okay, I want to blog about health. If you say you want to blog about health, you are going to spend 3 years and nobody would have visited your blog from search engine. There's a reason why search engine visitors are actually the best visitors. The reason is you can actually direct traffic from a Facebook group to your blog. But those traffic, like the earnings, each click from those Facebook group or Twitter or Instagram they'll be giving you on Google Ads on your website will be very small. Google Ads is like, Google, their main revenue comes from advertisements. So they place adverts on websites that apply to them. So, and when you go to a website, if you don't click on the advert, they don't make money. You have to click on the advert. Not that you visit a website and you think the person is making money. No. Those adverts here, let me show you a sample of an advert. Okay, let me use maybe Linda. No, Nairaland. Nairaland goes too fast. So this is an advert here. But this is not AdSense. Nairaland runs their own special advertisements. So you pay on Nairaland to advertise. So they don't focus on Google because their audience is very massive. Currently, see 2,550 members. They have approximately 8,000 members online as of now. But something like Linda and KG make use of AdSense. This is AdSense. Okay. If you see these two signs, you can see ads by Google. That's AdSense. This is AdSense. So if I click on this ad now, she makes money. But powerful people like this Linda and KG might not necessarily need you to click on the advert because she can go for okay, let's leave that advert part. So we're still going to get to that part, week 4. So you want to blog, the first thing is getting a niche. I want to blog on health. Health has so many niches. We have communicable disease, not communicable disease, so many other things. Under communicable disease, non-communicable disease, you can have sexual and reproductive health. Under sexual and reproductive health, you can even go down. Reproductive health, sexual health. Under sexual health, you can still even go down to STD, sexually transmitted disease. The reason why you don't just go and block everything is so that you'll be able to rank fast. Let me say, let me use an instance. I want to search about. What will I search about? What will I search about? Make money online. Let me use Nigeria. So this invoice.ng now, the niche will be basically focused on money. You can even see the name invoice. Invoice just payments, money, and all. And if you go through this whole blog, you can see get paid faster. Everything there will be really about money. How to choose between investing and trading. How to start meaning important money. Naira exchange rates, money. Go to their home page. How to choose between investing and trading, meaning importation. So these people, they are just focused on money. Some people will focus on, so niche is just focusing on a specific area of blogging. So you won't just be running, today you talk about entertainment, tomorrow you talk about health, next tomorrow you talk about Big Brother Naija, upper tomorrow you talk about how to make money. Those things, you won't even make money online, you get tired. So focusing is the main thing. You focus on a niche. And the link I sent yesterday, there are so many niches there. So many. In the link I sent yesterday. I just got this one online. That's a dog there. Okay. So like this weightlifting, body weight fitness, yoga, all this is a niche in health. Um, so there's so many, you have something in mind. I don't know if somebody has anything in mind. So let's just use, if you have any place in mind that you want to be blogging on, let's just use yours as a sample and, you know, and check the chat.
Food.
Okay. So, I don't know. Does anybody here has like, okay, I want to blog on something, something, something. Let's use his or our own.
Food now, Nelson. Food.
Huh? Can you hear me?
We can hear you. I said food.
Type it on the chat box. Geriatric. Ooh. Actually, geriatrics looks very big because old people have a whole lot of things they are suffering from. Not just to throw geriatrics now. There are some tools you use when you want to blog. There's some tools you use to check how. To check your niche. So one of them is what suggest. You can say don't know. I'm not going to me. I know Sabi.
What did they say? What did you talk to? There is nothing to do.
So what suggest is a tool, and it tells you people that search for that stuff. Like for instance, this is Nigeria. 1,000 people have such keywords that include geriatric.
You don't eat finish, Abi?
And the difficulty is 32. I won't actually encourage somebody to go through this one. Let's see geriatric United States. Okay. Difficulty 61. Cost per click $2. So what this means is, I just have only one more search. What this means is that geriatric in Nigeria, anybody that is searching for geriatric and if you have a blog now and you're targeting Nigerians, the search volume for the word, anything that has geriatric, is just 1,000 search volume per month, which is not much. Because Nigeria have low spending power, very low spending power. And 1,000 gives you nothing, absolutely nothing. But if you are targeting United States, you can see the search volume, 110,000. And the keyword difficulty is 61. It's a no-go area. I won't say anybody should go into this geriatric, because if you go into the geriatric, you won't be able to go into the front page. Why did I say so? It is very difficult. SEO difficulty is from 0 to 100. You look at it. If it's like 20, yes, a newcomer can come in and get into front page. But if it is above 20, it becomes very difficult. Like the average web page that ranks in the top 10 has 101 backlinks and a domain authority of 80. Websites that have domain authority of 80, there is no Nigerian website that has domain authority of 80. That's how it is. Netherlands has a domain authority of 72. Linda and Cage has a domain authority of 65. So if you look at it, if Linda and Cage and Netherlands as powerful and are like they are like the biggest people in Nigeria, don't have up to 80, a newcomer will not be able to rank here. But as you put in that geriatrics, it will give you options if you go down. You can see here now, difficulty. All these ones are 61, 61. This is 24. Good. This is 15. So the person can just focus on geriatric repression. The difficulty here is 15, and it has a search volume of 5,400. Perfect. So now the person, you can geriatric pregnancy. You can see now you're no longer focusing. Geriatric is a very big word, and for you to rank in, they'll be very, very, very difficult. But if you not start breaking down geriatric, it will start giving you smaller things you can focus on that has that the difficulty is small compared to the original keyword. So that's what niche is all about actually. So now, for instance, now if we were to go with this geriatric reprehension skill, it will still be difficult because people that discuss geriatric will also discuss geriatric reprehension skill. Geriatric repression. So let's say, let me use another tool. SEMrush. Geriatric repression in Nigeria has a very search volume. This is my account on SEMrush. So don't worry, I'll write the two in the chat box. It is still difficult. Okay. Different tools actually will give you different nature. Oh, healthcare entrepreneurship. Okay, this healthcare entrepreneurship actually will be like a very good one because you won't really have competition, but you have to utilize social media very well instead of search engine. Because you have to let people know that, because people will not go online, go to Google and start searching for best healthcare. No. You just tell the world that, okay, there are some doctors doing this through the social media. So for this healthcare entrepreneurship, I don't think you have any issue in that part. In as much as you have money to do adequate social media campaign, you should actually do well there in the healthcare entrepreneurship. But it all depends on who your target audience are. I think I'll come back to that geriatrics because that place they're very difficult to rank. Forget about this difficulty here. I think if you go into this healthcare entrepreneurship, you will do well. That's a good niche. Okay, so for these geriatric depressions, before this might. Okay. So now from that geriatric now, we can now say geriatric depression. This geriatric depression will be difficult to run through. We still have to niche down. When I put in that geriatric, we saw how many the whole keywords, difficulty, and all. So but this geriatric depression skill will be easy to run. So if you want to go into this thing, you can just go for geriatric depression skill. You can just go and buy a domain that has geriatric depression. For instance, let me say, okay, go daddy. Actually, this is the first time I did teaching. So my stuff, they as geriatric. You know somebody that spell this thing. Mommy, I don't go school. Okay, so you want to go to geriatric, you look at geriatric, it's very difficult to rank. Your target audience should not be Nigeria. If you want to make money, don't ever make your target audience Nigeria. Nigeria's no bite is online, and our cost per click is always very small. United States, if somebody from United States should visit your blog and should click on an advert, you can actually make up to 1,000 naira from one single click. You can actually make up to 1,000 naira from one click. But someone from Nigeria that clicks on your advert, you can just be talking about making like 30 naira from it. So the target or your target audience should never be Nigeria. But difficult to like targeting the other countries is always very difficult unless you don't become pro. So if I was to go to this geriatric, I'll go down to geriatric depression and still go down to geriatric depression skill. But if I'm buying a domain, I won't buy geriatric depression skill. I'll just buy geriatric depression. So that by the time I start ranking, then I would write articles, a whole lot of articles for geriatric depression skill. When I start ranking for geriatric depression skill, then I can now niche up to geriatric depression. I don't know whether I'm understanding. Normally. Okay. So from geriatric, they have so many things. Geriatric means old age. For those who know the medical people, geriatric means old age. Under old age, you get a whole lot of issues when they come with old age. It can be depression, it can be different things. So if it's depression now, the scale on is easier to rank than to rank the normal depression. So I will first of all start on the scale on to write articles on the scale on. When I now start ranking for the scale on, then I can now start going forward to normal geriatric depression. So with that, because the scale on will first of all be easier to rank, then with time, because you're writing on your blog and you're linking, like when you finish writing on the scale on, when you finish writing on the scale on, you start writing on other stuffs about geriatric old people depression, then people can read from your scale on into your normal depression article. So with that, you start having like, I don't know which English I will call them. Let me show you an instance. Okay, actually this is, love it. Oh, Zoom just removed 40 minutes time limit. Not even 40 minutes time limit. I don't know. Okay, this is a blog I started January. So I started this blog January this year. As of January, I had 468 visitors and 724 articles were read as at January. So 468 visitors, 724 articles. So they did not just come to read only the article, they came from Google. They also read at like one other additional article before they exited the website. And this blog is targeted at Nigerians. It's an educational blog. A majority of my traffic is from that 400 and 300 were from Google search. That was the January I started. Then February, it became from 400, it became 964 visitors. So like double. Out of this, and they read 1,300. The January own, they read more than, like each person was reading like 2 articles. But this February own, majority of them just read 1 article and exited. But these 964 visitors, about 830 are from Google. I don't normally do social media for this, so I just focus only on search engine. If I focus on social media, I should be having more than up to, because social media traffic is very, like, it comes like Kano, like Kim Kardashian's Kano, Kaduna, and these 3, it comes very well, but they don't normally, their click is not as effective as social media, as search engine. Someone from social media might be giving you 10 naira per click. But someone from Google search might be giving you 15 naira per click. So that's why I don't normally focus on social media. Then March, you can see there is always a good movement. I had 1,864 visitors, which is double what I had in February. And this 1,864 visitors, 1,618, 1,593 were from Google search. So, but what I was saying initially was, like, this 1,864 visitors read, like, some of them read 1 article, some of them read 2 articles. Assuming it's times 2 now, the same majority of them read 2 articles. So when you focus on, when you do this depression scale, they will start going into your other articles and be reading it. And before you know, those other ones will start ranking. So if I am to focus on this geriatric depression scale, I will buy this, I will always go with the .com domain. I will always go with the .com domain. I might go with a .health because it's health. There is .life. This one is expensive. You can say pediatric depression. Nice. Opposite of geriatric depression. Depression elderly. Also nice, but the domain name is very expensive. Elderly, or more menopausal depression. Okay. Geriatric depression for the females, they can have menopausal depression, but the domain name is quite very, very, very pricey. You don't want to go into that part. Maternal depression. So if I'm to buy, I will buy this, geriatricdepression.com, and focus on geriatric depression scale. So you might say, what are you going to write in the geriatric depression scale? There are tools that will guide you on what you're going to write, actually. You can actually write more than 50 articles on geriatric depression scale. I don't know what that might. So now, All these things now are questions. WHO geriatric depression scale. You can write an article on WHO geriatric depression scale. You can write an article, the use of the geriatric depression scale, which include when to use it. You can write an article interpreting geriatric depression scale. So there are so many articles you can write on. So this tool now will just give you article topics that people normally search on Google on that geriatric depression scale. From here now you have 26 questions. Let me move this. You can see 26 here. You can write 26 articles from just this first part. This second part, you can write 30 articles. The scale in French, in Chinese, in Spanish, geriatric depression scale for nursing, for adults, for elderly, for dementia. You can write 30 articles here. And in the comparison, this should give you more than over 100. Still loading. I hope my network is still there. Okay. Okay. You can see this one has over 176. So from here now, you can see that you are going to the geriatric depression scale. It's not a small thing to talk about, actually. It's not a small thing to talk about. Let me use an instance, another one, traditional medicine. That traditional medicine, they have so many things about traditional medicine. But the most common one is agbo. They have agbo jedi, agbo this, agbo that. But if you tell somebody, if you write on traditional medicine and you niche down to just writing on agbo, I don't know whether people sabi agbo for here. But agbo na Yoruba name. I don't know whether Igbos really sabi am. Let me see the chat box. Yes, so you can always combine social media and Google search. For me now, for the blog I just showed you and the search traffic, I'm going to combine social media. Actually, I bought a Facebook group of about 15,000 members. I'm grooming it. It's about 30,000 members as of today. So by the time I have time, if I finish all this small academic issue I get, then I focus full time on it. So if I have a Facebook group of about 50 to 100,000 members, I'm sure of having 2,000 visitors on my blog per day. And if I'm having 2,000 visitors on my blog per day, I'm sure of having close to at least $20 per day. Nigeria traffic, if it's a foreign traffic, that's 2,000 visitors per day will be giving you $50 per day. So that's the difference between Nigeria traffic and foreign traffic. So you can always combine. Yes, I've heard of it. I don't know what you've heard of. I'm not allowed to show them. So you can always combine social media and the agbo. Okay, so for the agbo now, agbo means all these roots and herb they cook and they say it cures pie, it cures this, it cures that, and all in Yoruba land. Actually, agbo is focused in Yoruba land. Someone can just go and say, okay, I want to niche down from traditional medicine to just agbo. And actually, it's a good niche. But let's see, I don't know. Now this thing, the way they block my screen, how can I move it? I thought they become computer illiterate too. So let's see for the agbo, see the search traffic, Nigeria and all. Keyword analyzer, keyword overview. Sorry, I have to go to incognito mode. My free trial for the day ended, so they give only 3 free trial per day. So and I've used those 3 free trial. Okay. Okay, this one is on my blog. So let's say Agbo AGB. Okay, the search volume is small. Search volume is very small, but people search for it per month. About 590 people search for about Agbo per month. About 590 people. So if you are selling, you're just not going for content. Maybe you sell the component of Agbo, the roots and herbs online. Actually, if you have up to 500 visitors coming to your website and buying your product per month, it's a good stuff. If you are selling, but if you are just writing for content to make money from adverts, I won't encourage you to go into anything that has a search volume less than 3,000. If it has a search volume less than 3,000, don't go into it. But under this Agbo, there are so many things you can write. You might say, Agbo, waiting there for Agbo pan. If you go to this Answer the Public is a tool that tells you what people normally search on Google. Like questions people ask on Google. So it guides you on what you're going to write and how you are going to write. My network is about. Okay. I think my network is bad. So a niche, when you want to niche, you choose a general broad topic and you start niching down. Another way to niche down is to go to Amazon. If you go to Amazon.com, you go to their categories. These are categories now. Under these categories, they have different, like this health and health food now has baby and child care, oral care, sexual wellness. All these things are niches. If you don't really know if you go to Amazon, all these things are big. They're big niches. They are big niches. Baby and child care, health care, medical supplies and equipment, oral care, personal care, sexual wellness. They are niches. So if you're not going to the sexual wellness now, you can actually say a whole lot of sub niches. So if you want to, it will well encourage you go for sub niches. What is sexual wellness? You can see safer sex, adult toys and game, bondage gear for the sexual wellness. So I don't know. So is that less for you now to sexual enhancers, novelties? So these things are now sub niches under sexual wellness. So now you can now say, okay, you want to focus on safer sex. Under the safer sex, you see sub niches: contraceptives, lubricants, condoms. So with this Amazon, you can actually, you might just say, okay, instead of you thinking, if you go to Amazon and you start going category to subcategory, you actually see that you can actually get a sub niche under everything that you want. Then you can now focus. Like these female contraceptives now. These female contraceptives from health to sexual awareness to safer sex and to contraceptives. These contraceptives we can now be advertising, and you can, okay, for instance, now some people, this is an example. I don't know, this is an example. We can be writing on contraceptives, not basically on female, you can write it on contraceptives only, and come and register on Amazon as an affiliate. If you register on Amazon as an affiliate and you're linked, people buy, Amazon pays you a commission from this stuff. You get about 5% of your sale from Amazon. And people actually make money from Amazon. Some people in O21, Ife Rika, and Ogoda Anthony, they basically focus on Amazon. They focus on affiliates, Amazon and one other company. So for this kind of one, either you, maybe if you're manufacturing your own contraceptive also, you can just focus on contraceptives and write. But I'm just using this as an example. Let me say, let's go to business. I think business will make more sense. Finance. See all. Okay, let's say beauty and personal care. So makeup, skincare, hair care. You can go to health care.
Yeah.
Under hair.
I don't know. I had it 1 week now. So let's say it's 2 weeks. I'm just saying.
Under hair care, we have hair loss. This hair loss now, actually, you can even, is a very big market, because if you focus on this hair loss now, you have basically all these old men, geriatrics, or you can just be geriatricshairloss.com. All these old men, and they see a domain, geriatric hair loss, they say, these people, they are focused on us, old men, that normally go bad. So if you go to these hair loss products and you focus on hair loss as your niche, then you have later on, and you start with geriatric hair loss, old men hair loss, then you niche up with people that are looking for bigger hair, maybe beards and all. So that's just niching. You start small, then you start including other parts of related stuff. So you can actually use this Amazon to do niche research. But if you're using Amazon for niche research, that means you don't want to use Google AdSense, because Amazon, the people that, if you niche down to hair loss products, the number of searches for hair loss products will not be more than 10,000. Let's see. Under this hair loss product, we have hair growth, shampoo, conditioner. So there are a whole lot of things to write about. If I plug in hair loss now into this stuff, and make my target audience United States. I see the search volume, 40,500, very high. Keyword difficult, 46. $5.19 per click. You have an advert on your website and somebody click on the advert, and make $5, which is approximately 2,000 naira. If you have 1,000 visitors per month and 10% is 100, click on the advert, and each click is $5. You're talking about $500 per month. This is something very substantial, but the difficulty is 46. You won't go there because it's too much for a newcomer. So you will go down. You find the one that has lower difficulty. This one now has low difficulty. Hair loss. And just, okay, you start with your niche is hair loss. Then this hair loss treatment also is very big. Like the difficulty is big. I won't encourage anybody to go with this hair loss treatment. So you just focus on the causes. The way you're talking about the hair loss causes, you can now be putting in small treatments in there. For instance, now, one of the causes of hair loss is genetics. Like your father is bald, your grandfather was bald, your great grandfather was bald. By the time you start getting to middle age, you start getting bald. So it's one of the causes. So at the end, you might say, okay, you have a link to a product that will help in the baldness. So you're not recommending a little treatment for this hair loss cause. So if I am to go for this hair loss, I will start with these causes. The volume is very big. The cost per click is small compared to others, but the difficulty is something that a newcomer can go into. 26. If you go for any of these, so if you go for hair loss in women, you have people you go contest against, they heavy. If they big, they don't be small children at all. If you go hair loss women, 53, massive. Shampoo, 52. So you just find the one that has a volume of more than 3,000. That's just it. And the difficulty should be less than 300. Be less than 30. Then you can enter in there and, get in and start getting traffic. But when you start blogging, you don't expect to start seeing visitors. When you start writing articles, there's what they call Google sandbox. Google will not be sending you traffic. You'll be in their sandbox for 6 months. That 6 months, they are monitoring your blog. If they see that you are consistent in writing articles, so you might just go in there and you don't write articles for 3 months and you write one, and you don't write another one for another 1 month and you write another. They say you're not serious. But maybe you are consistent, you write one article per week, one article per week, every day for 6 months. After 6 months, you start getting good traffic. From this 18,100, you might start getting that first month. After the 7th month, you might get 1,000 visitors from this. Then 2nd month, you start getting more. 3rd month, you start getting more. But this 1st, 2nd, and 3rd month is after you've left the Google sandbox. Google sandbox takes 6 months of consistency. You can always be getting traffic from social media and other places, but from Google search engine, you won't get traffic. That's one thing about Google sandbox. Don't worry, very soon, all these things will start the day okay for heads. For now, they might look very, 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 very big. Okay, let me show you a sample of Google sandbox. I've handled so many websites. Okay. So this is an example of Google sandbox. Sorry, this is a website I did for a client. And the person has not posted more than 2 articles since last year, December. Should I say not more than 2 articles? If you look at the referrals here, you won't see Google search. I'm not going to refer anybody to you because they feel you are not serious about what you are doing. This is December, February. Let's check referrals. There is no Google. Let's go to this year, February. Referrals. Just 1 person in a full month. If you go to March, no traffic at all. So it's not a bed of, should I say, bed of roses. The person has to be very, 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 very consistent. Another one is this one. This one has good consistency. But this is an e-commerce website. I did this one for a client. The person stays in the US. And the person sells, should I say, all these foods, all this African food in the United States. So as that As at March, okay, as at January, he had 1,200 visitors. And those 1,200 visitors checked 7,000. Like that means each visitor was checking like 5 pages of his website. Each visitor was checking like 5 pages of his website. Though it's e-commerce, he was checking like 5 products, like maybe check egusi and pounded yam. Said, okay, this one looks, should I check egusi and semo? So that kind of stuff. And the referrals, you can see, majority was from Google search, because this person is very consistent. You can see Ekong vegetable soup, okra vegetable soup, ukazi soup, afang soup. Person was very consistent, putting in details, stuffs on the website. But if you leave it blank, it remains blank. So this February, Ekong vegetable soup, it's 1 people. Very, if out of the people that came to visit this website and they buy, for God's sake, it's going to make good money.
No, I want something. Person they teach something now.
So this one now, he has removed himself from Google Sandbox. But this website is over 3 years old. This website is over 3 years old. It's not something of today at all, at all. At all, at all. Okay, this one now is mine. I started it, then got tired. So when I started it, actually, I was expecting to go into Google Sandbox normally. Referrals, none from Google. Referral, coming small, but there was no new article. This sign now shows this is one article, this blue sign here now, that I wrote this article that month. But after that month, there was no new article. There was no new article. So I will remain in Google Sandbox until I am serious to write articles. When I'm serious to, okay, this is a good search term. Sorry, but it came from Bing. I'm not this serious with that website. So I'm not expecting to even rank at all here. This one is no longer on Google Sandbox, and though it's targeting, the target is on Nigerians. My target for this one will be US. So now this is my own blog. Somebody came in with these search terms. People came in with these search terms to my blog. You can see this is my blog as position number 1, page 1. So it has left Google Sandbox. Best Polytechnic in Nigeria 2021. Google is even showing me that I had 43 clicks in the last 7 days. 299 people saw the website, and it's position number 2.8, which is between 2 and 3. So this is my website here. Top 10 best polytechnic in Nigeria. It's no longer on Google Sandbox, so it's receiving traffic. So if you want to niche, for instance, now I got this domain, and everything I've written here is about polytechnics. You can see. How many years to complete polytechnic? 10 cheapest polytechnic. How many semesters in polytechnic? I'm not writing in university. Why? Or any other thing. Why? I want to first of all make Google see me, like, and make Google see that, okay, in education, they think I can write very well. They start ranking me in polytechnics. When I start seeing that, oh, I'm getting good rank in polytechnics, then I can now switch and start writing on both university, college of education, scholarship, and every other thing. that's niching. You niche first, you start with that. When you start having good substantial traffic, you start bringing in other things. So basically, I don't know if you really understand, because I think this is the first time we're not going to hear about niches and niches and niches and all. So this is 9 p.m. on the dot. I don't know if there are any questions. You can unmute to ask your question. I don't understand. I know. You can unmute and ask your question. We'll have one full week for niche. So don't worry. If you don't understand this first day, it is normal. It's normal. You should not. We are just being introduced into the world of into the online world. So if you don't understand this first day, it is normal. But please ask your question. Unmute and ask your question. No question.
I have a question.
Okay.
Thank you very much for everything you've told us from the beginning.
Thank you. You welcome.
It was very, very enlightening, especially seeing the tools you use for this content writing and optimization. So my question is this, from what you're showing, from the screen you've been using to show examples, it feels like you have an account with WordPress.com or so. Like you have an account where all your articles are listed and where the progress you make is shown. How are we supposed to create ours? That's my question.
Okay, actually, okay, I think this part will be answered very well in week 2, because in that week 2 it will be more on blog, how to create a blog and the necessary things you need to link up and everything. So those tools, yeah, you see everything and see how your progress. Will be a technical question, and I'd say I want to reserve that for week 2, actually, because it's not. We have to actually know domain and hosting, creating websites, using WordPress.org, then linking to WordPress.com. You're not creating a website. You're not creating anything WordPress.com. You're just using WordPress.com tools to monitor what is happening in your own websites. Linking and interlinking. So that part will be discussed will be discussed in a more comprehensive manner in week 2. If I should say, let me discuss it now, I doubt if anybody will understand it.
Okay, no problem. We'll wait till then. Thank you.
And you're welcome. So any other question? Is there no question? Okay. Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Seriously, I have a lot of questions, but I'm thinking that if we go in depth, then maybe you might answer most of the questions even before I ask them. I have questions concerning the tools, especially the ones you're supposed to subscribe for. Like this one you're saying is a maximum of 3 searches. I mean, is there no way you could maybe subscribe and get more than that? And then issues of knowing, there's so many times that I'm not even understanding.
Okay.
Let me pretend that today is the first day. Let me you answer. So asking us to ask questions now is looking like I don't know. I don't just know. So I don't know whether I'm the only one feeling this way. I have so many questions, but I can't put it in the right context.
Just
So I believe maybe when we do
no.
more and more classes,
Say
you now know.
if he's the one that is, I will explain them.
For instance, now talking about social media, combining the site with the blogging site with social media. Is it when you go on social media and buy people, if you call it buying people, something like that? You said something about growing them, maintaining them, and keeping them engaged. That one is another this thing altogether. I don't even know how to talk about that one. It's a whole lot of tasks on its own to make
Yes.
sure that these people they don't churn out. So how do you ensure such a thing?
Okay. For the social media is like a faster way of getting traffic to your blog. You don't want to rely on Google, because Google is not something that you can actually predict that it will send traffic to your blog. So social media is a faster way. You start writing today, you start getting traffic today. Managing social media is a very big, actually is a big task. I have two groups. One on sexual something for my startup, and that one is about 100,000 members. I bought that one when it was about 20,000 members. I've been grooming it. Grooming Facebook group is not hard. Once your group is above 10,000 members, people will be joining that by themselves. You won't be the one, and you won't even add a single individual. You even be rejecting people. They'll be joining by themselves, and people will be creating posts. Your own is just to make some people that you know moderators. So those moderators will be approving posts, will be deleting nonsense comments, and running your Facebook group for you. Your own is to come in there, announce that Oga don't show, write small stuff, then direct them. Like maybe, okay, for this my educational blog now, we'll say, okay, there are JAMB has started registration. To know the centers to register, you can register all over Nigeria. Visit this link, all the centers. So you're directing them from the Facebook group that has about 30,000 members to your blog. And okay, let me show you an example. Let me go to my Facebook. Let me share my screen. Just to study how to use this thing now. Can I share my screen again? Can't see it too. So this is my first time I'm using Zoom and doing a meeting. So just bear with me. I'm not seeing share screen option. Okay. So you can pin a message on your Facebook group. When you pin the message, anybody that comes in will always see the pin message. So you are getting like you get an article maybe 2 times per week. So you pin, out of which that week, as you have 30,000 members, 10,000 people went in for that week, saw the stuff, and about 1,000 people visited your blog. It's a good conversion rate. So you're keeping that Facebook group not for anything, just to have quick visitors, basically. As you're monetizing, as you're pushing forward for Google to be sending traffic to your website. Waking up in the morning and seeing 0 on your blog is very, very discouraging. You blog for 1 month, you write articles, and you are just seeing 0 visitor for 1 full month. So by the time you see 0 visitor 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, I'm sure you get tired. So, but for 6 months, Google is not going to send substantial traffic to you because they're monitoring you. monitoring if you are serious with what you are doing for 6 full months. So by the time you see first month, second month, third month, you just get tired. Because who am I writing? Nobody is reading. But if you have a social media, should I say, link up, you will still be a little bit encouraged to keep 50 visitors in a day. Good and fine. So with time, people will start sending you visitors, and you're now using both search engine and social media. And if you don't have adverts on your website, or if you're not selling the product, perfect. So I don't know if I've answered that question about. It's actually a very big work, but you have to make sure you make people moderators. You are the owner of the group. You won't handle things. You just make people moderators. They handle things on your behalf. So for Cherish, I don't know. Did I answer that question? That is muted.
Yeah, thank you very much for the explanation.
Hope you understood what I said.
I understood what you said.
Okay.
I understood what you said. Thank you very much.
So, which other ones do you have? You said you have many.
Make I digest this one and finish.
No,
Make I digest this one and finish.
No wahala. So, any other question? Fimba. So you have directly in front of my screen. Do you have any question, Fimba? Can't hear you. Okay. Okay. I know today we will have a whole lot of things to digest and all. Niche is you have something in mind you want to go into. It's a very broad something. It's very broad. So places actually I will put the question, I'll put the link on the group. So for the subscription, you can actually subscribe, but you know this dollar stuff now. When they tell you $50 per month, $100 per month, when you put in those things, everybody will just finish your account. So you just say, okay, they give me three access per day. You use the 3 access. When you exhaust the 3 access for that day, you wait for the next day. You use the 3 access. By the time when you are done, you're not satisfied. So, and there are other tools. As you're using one, you're using the other one. So if this unlocks you out for using your 3 access, you enter the next one and you continue. By the time like 3 days, 4 days, you already have something substantial that you want to go into. So niche is you have a big topic in your head. I want to write about health, make money writing about health, or make money even making videos about health. You have to niche down. Niching down makes people see you as authority. For instance, if I'm talking about health, sexual and reproductive health, sexual health, and I niche that to sexual health. Under sexual health, and I niche that to STD. Under STD, and I even niche that to HIV or gonorrhea. My website is not gonorrhea treatments or gonorrheacare.com. Anything, if you see a domain name is gonorrheacare.com and you go in there, you see anything about gonorrhea, you tend to trust that kind of stuff. Say, this person is focused solely on gonorrhea. So that is purely niching down. That's purely niching down. So it's just going lower and lower and lower and lower to something that the difficulty will be okay for a new person. An old person can always, when you've already become an old person in the industry, you can always niche up. You can always start writing about HIV, start writing about sexual and reproductive health, start writing about school health. But as a newcomer, you need to niche down so that you'll be able to survive other people. If you go to Google now and search, you'll see at least you'll be seeing 1 to 10 of 10 million results. You don't want to be the 10th million results. You don't want to be that. So niching down will help you, come forward on time. Then with time, you enter front page. That's the purpose of niching. It might look somehow, but with time, you'll start to understand the concept. So I'll send a link. I think I'll find a very good resource that will explain it, then send it to the group. So by the time you read it, then we come in for the next one. You will understand it better. So I don't know. Since there is no other, I don't know if there are other questions before we call it a day. Are there other questions before we call it a day? Okay. So the next one will be on Saturday. So let me give you guys time to go digest, read up, start doing some research yourself. Because if you don't, you have to do, nobody is like spoon feed you. These things are things that you say, okay, I want to do this myself. I want to write about this and all. I don't know what you want to write about. Saturday we will now do a full niche research. Maybe I'll just pick one part, then break it down, and do a niche research about it. So I think with that way, you will really understand the procedures you have to go through. So, but then we'll call it a day. So, so it's a good night from here. It's a good night from here, and see you guys on Saturday. Thank you for coming.